This video probably won't be very much liked by the algorithm for a whole lot of reasons. You see, there are bad things happening all around the globe right now in a lot of, well, the Western world. And to that effect, there's also been an unstemmed, unchecked flow of immigration that is going to continue to prove out with some negative effects. In the entertainment world, that gets more terrifying because there is a draw for bad actors to target soft targets at these large scale events. What am I talking about? Well, probably something you heard about. And we're going to look at Fox Entertainment, which you can decide whether or not it has a bias or not for yourself. But this is actually something that happens. You see, Taylor Swift was subject to a planned mass event issue that would have certainly caused some problems. This has caused not only the cancellation of at least a couple of her shows, maybe more, not sure yet, but let me suggest that we have Mr. Scott to thank for the awareness that if just something very bad happens or goes slightly wrong, you can have a mass injury or casualty event at almost any of these types of things. But I think we're going to continue to see more and more of these bad events being threatened, if not actually done, in the very near future. Because actions have consequences, negative consequences, scary consequences, preventable consequences. What happened in this particular circumstance with Taylor Swift was a suspect who pledged allegiance to a very bad group of people that didn't exist before a particular period of time, which you can research for yourself. You're going to see these types of things happen. You're going to see events being threatened because this suspect had substances and devices, which meant this was a very real threat. And as usual, this person did not intend to act alone. Not at all. In fact, a third teen has been arrested over a foiled attack at the Swift concert. This was reported a day ago over there on BBC. And whether or not you think they're trustworthy, this is actually what was reported. Austrian security officials say 19-year-old was planning a large event attack in Vienna, and say the teen who had previously alleged pledged their allegiance to the bad group confessed that he intended to do that with all kinds of things, explosives and stabby implements. He was one of two suspects that were arrested on Wednesday, and a third, aged 18, and an acquaintance of the main suspect was arrested on Thursday. This was to take place at 3 sold-out shows in Ernest Happel Stadium, and they've been canceled. More than 195,000 people will not be seeing this concert. And in what seems to be now something that is occurring regularly in Europe, this main suspect was quote-unquote an Austrian citizen by birth, but not by blood. He had North Macedonian parents who'd come over rather recently. He also changed his appearance and adapted to the particular propaganda that you would normally figure for this situation. He had obviously been consuming and sharing a lot of propaganda online. And the second suspect is of Turkish and Croatian heritage. But again, Austrian by birth. They were employed by a company that provided services to the stadium. So there's your inside man. So the 19 and 17-year-old have been remanded into custody. The 15-year-old, who was in the area of the stadium at the time, is still being questioned. Notice that these are all impressionable young people. Notice the similarities that they have to some of the recent other events that have occurred around the Western world, including in the UK, which is surprising that the BBC would cover this event this way, because it doesn't help the argument for the mass censorship movement that they're about to make there in that country, or if they haven't already started. This coming week, Taylor Swift actually intended to have 5 performances at Wembley Stadium. Maybe they'll still continue. I'm not certain, nor do I think they are either. UK Policing Minister Diana Johnson said Scotland Yard would look at intelligence ahead of the Wembley Stadium dates. And London Mayor Sadiq Khan has told Sky News that the city will carry on and that the police will work with City Hall and the councils to ensure the concerts take place safely. As I said, Taylor Swift canceled Vienna concerts right after the threat. And good on her. I think that the people of the world will have to be additionally diligent in all of these types of events, whether it's a sporting event, a concert event, or similar live action event. These are going to be the areas where we are weakest and are targeted for mass events such as this. We need to also be aware that there are, as I suggested before, consequences to action or lack of action. And it's going to take a lot of work and temerity to overcome this in the future. And there will be hard choices made by people who have fortitude and rational thought. On that note, what do you think? Do you think that Taylor Swift and her team did the right thing in basically turning those events into non events and canceling them? Do you think that Wembley Stadium should consider doing the same, considering they're having some very similar issues right now, driven by the same types of events that we all find troubling? And do you think we should look inward here in the United States, since that's where the majority of my audience resides, and decide whether or not we should start again looking inward for more potential, since we don't really know who's here, at least in the last few years? On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. Hit the thumbs up down below because it does help. And like I said, please make the comments down below. You can certainly share the video out there, although this one, I'm not going to make a lot of friends over at YouTube. I haven't been sharing any of my videos nor live streams. So I'm relying on you. I'm also relying on you to help me get to 25K, which we get closer and closer to every day, despite somewhere around 40 people a day being unsubscribed by the platform itself. And as always, see ya.